I want to bring in Congressman Sean Duffy right now. Congressman, your thoughts. Good morning to you.
Yeah, you know, Hillary Clinton's been running for president for a decade, for 10 years. She has a massive campaign apparatus. I think this is Donald Trump, who's been running on a shoestring budget, building out his campaign, whether it's at the grassroots level, hiring walkers in communities, but also at the top level as well. Kellyanne Conway, she is great. She's a great messenger. I thought they're good hires. But in regard to Trump being Trump, listen, everyone has to be authentic or the American people see right through you. But that doesn't mean you can't be on page and be on script, because when Trump goes off script, he says things that then absorbs all the oxygen in the room, and people don't pay attention to the actual message that he was delivering. This is a race that if he's talking about the economy, he's talking about wages, he's talking about security and safety, and then talking about the corruption and the dishonesty that comes from Hillary Clinton, he's going to win.
Yeah.
But you can't continually absorb all the oxygen because you're stepping on your story with making mistakes. And,
right.
And again, I think this is a good team, and I think they're going to hopefully continue on the right page that they have been on for the last week.
He also keeps falling for it, right? I mean, so you know, after W. Wasserman Schultz was pushed out, the story was that it was all a fix, that they were all in Hillary Clinton's camp, and they didn't really give Bernie Sanders a real shot. And so that was the story, but the Democrats turned it into a story about Russia, and Donald Trump fell for it. So can he do what you're saying and not fall for all of this, you know, all of the noise that they throw at him?
I think he can, because, I mean, listen, Trump's a winner. He likes to win, and he's a quick study. So I think he's seen some of these problems of stepping on his story, and the poll numbers have fallen, and there's all this great stuff that's come out on Hillary Clinton. And that's not great. It's bad for America, but it's politically it's great because, again, she's exposed these secrets, top secret information that we have in America to our biggest enemies from her unsecure server. But even my concern with, he gave a speech in Wisconsin a couple days ago, Maria, and it was a great speech, you know, talking about law enforcement, talking about the African American community, talking about jobs and security. But then the next morning, instead of letting that story breathe, we're announcing the campaign build-out. And so, again, you got to be smart when you have a good story going. Let it go.
Right.
Let it breathe. Let you talk about how great the story is before you step on it with a new one.
We'll see if he can do it, Dagan.
But, Congressman, the troubling thing that something that people are troubled about is bringing on Steve Bannon is somebody who's going to let Trump be Trump. That's a throwback to even the primary days. Does that bother you? Are you concerned about that?
It depends, again, what that means. If that means being unscripted and saying things that the media can pick up and run with instead of the real issues that Americans care about, it's a problem. But if it's letting Trump be Trump and communicating in a style that is authentically Trump with a message that's resonating with America that's authentically Trump, that's a good thing. And time is going to tell. We don't know, you know, how this is going to play out from New York City and Trump Tower. We're all going to have to wait and see.
We'll probably know in a week.
We keep talking about Trump trying to, right? But we want him to pivot, and we've been talking. I mean, this is like the 20th pivot we've talked about. Time's running out. We're getting through the haze of summer. We get through Labor Day. This is serious stuff. I think if those who have left Trump don't start seeing a new Trump, they might not come back, and this election could be lost. But again, if he recalibrates, this is going to be a real race, and I think Trump can still win it.
Let me switch gears and ask you about this ransom payment to Iran. The Wall Street Journal this morning is reporting, top story in the paper, that the U.S. waited to make the $400 million payment almost until the minute, until the American prisoners were released. You wrote a letter to the Justice Department and the Treasury Department requesting the details of the exchange. Have you heard back yet?
We haven't had a response yet, and I'm sure you're not surprised by that, Maria. They're going to try to slow walk us. But I think Americans need this information. We want to know because we don't believe in paying ransom. Not because we don't want to get our people back, because it endangers everyone else who travels overseas that you have a ransom on your head. If they can take you, they know the American government will pay big dollars for your return. What frustrates me is that the administration thinks that we're so stupid that this transfer of people for cash wasn't a ransom payment, that it was just miraculously was a coincidence that they happened at the same time. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
We want to get to the truth, and yeah.
And one thing that I pointed out before is when the world knows that you're ready to send $400 million in cold cash to one maniac, any other maniac is not going to be afraid to detain Americans. Not comparing the same thing to Brazil, but they're detaining Americans.
Yeah, Congressman, I think I'm wondering does your letter...
They're incentivized to do it.
Exactly.
There's an actual tangible financial
Does your letter
incentive.
also touch base on the point with the Justice Department that we actually gave 7 other prisoners back, that the $400 million actually was to the former Shah and not to the Ayatollahs? I mean, does it address some of those other issues as well that was part of this exchange?
Yeah.
And 7 other prisoners we gave back to them.
Yeah, right. So it was a broad-based request. Because I'm on financial services, and I do the oversight committee there. So we're trying to stay in our lane and not get into other committees' lanes. So it was broadly based and focused on the financing of this exchange. But no, I think Americans again want this information because again, everyone now has a target on their head. Thank you, Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, that's a huge source of revenue for the Islamic State is kidnappings. Just by the way, that's been a central source of the ISIS economy.
So they make money.
Right.
Well, yeah, and Iran has taken more prisoners and is demanding $1.2 billion more now as well.
Right.
So that's just
Why
happening. We
would
gave
it
them the
count?
money, now they took more people and want more money.
You wanted to make another point, Congressman. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna come back to the campaign, Maria. In Wisconsin, and I know we're talking about Iran, but at this Wisconsin rally, it's amazing the kind of people that are coming out that are energized by Donald Trump. I mean, we had school teachers that are public employees that have now come out to support Trump. We had bikers that were there, veterans who were there. These aren't people that we would normally see in a political rally, whether it was Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan. These folks weren't there. They're coming out, and they are absolutely on fire for Donald Trump. If Kellyanne can recalibrate and get those card-carrying Republicans who are usually supporting the Republican candidate to get on board because his tone is right, in conjunction with these new voters that are now coming into the Trump campaign. Maybe they were Democrats, maybe they didn't vote at all, but they're with Donald Trump all the way because they want to make America great again and they want to put us first. This is a movement that I think is unstoppable, but you can't do it with just new voters. You need to bring in that traditional Republican voter who has been a little bit turned off by Trump.
Yeah.
Tone change, he's a winner.
All right, we'll leave it there. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks so much. Congressman Sean Duffy there.